Hi, dear Astro friends. I hope everyone is doing well. And I thought I would share a video about Ceres in the sign of Capricorn. I guess many astrologers will not cover this topic. However, I believe it's important. Ceres will be spending 10 months in the sign of Capricorn in 2024. And we actually have got loads of sensitive points in the sign of Capricorn. So I believe it's going to be very important if you want to be looking at the bigger cycles of 2024. Here, in this video, I will be sharing a few degrees that you always need to pay attention to on a collective level. The list is a bit bigger, but I'm only giving you the sensitive degrees of the sign of Capricorn. Why are they sensitive? Because some of the bigger cycles, such as Pluto-Saturn conjunction, happened in the sign of Capricorn. So whenever a planet is going retrograde, for example, in the sign of Capricorn, it goes through those degrees. Now, here are the degrees. But actually, before we do that, I have a promotion running on my readings until the 27th of December. And if you would like to learn more about your own chart, how 2024 plays out for you, then I recommend going onto the website, checking out the promotion and book your reading. I only have got available spots left in January pretty much. And also, if you would like to study medical astrology, then check out my upcoming 15-week course on AstroladaOfficial. This course will be recorded, and I will provide slides as well for each class in case you cannot make the live classes. I recommend this course for any health practitioners or healers, and actually people that are interested in medical fields to help your clients heal or just to help yourself heal somehow. We will cover loads of psychological material as well as physical part of the chart too, such as I will give Chiron lectures free of charge with this course. I made a three-part Chiron lecture previously on my YouTube channel, so it should be a very interesting course. And I will be doing a retreat in Mexico in February. How to tie predictive techniques together to become a better astrologer, on one hand, and secondly, to become your own astrologer as well. Now, this is also on promotion till the end of December. So if you would like, grab your spots now. Details are available on the website astrolada.com. And if you would like to listen to my videos, especially in regards to 2024, I prepared quite a bunch of them on my YouTube channel, so check them out as well. But I will be posting more videos on this channel also. So let's have a look at these sensitive degrees, what I have mentioned before. So basically, there are something called synodic cycles, and basically those are the current movements of planets, and they become a sensitive point of the zodiacal signs. We tend to be looking at typically conjunctions, eclipses, or new moons, for example. So those become on a collective level, but also on a personal level as well, a sensitive degree, especially if you have got any planets sitting around those degrees. So today I'm going to be giving you the sensitive degrees in regards to the conjunctions between two planets that last until the next conjunction. So what you want to be looking out for is what sign they occur in, what house does it fall in your natal chart, and does it trigger any point in your personal chart, such as conjunction, oppositions, and squares. Now, I'm going to give you the sensitive degrees. For example, 21 degree of Capricorn. That's where the Saturn-Pluto conjunction took place 2021. And previously, it was 27 degree of Libra. So you might want to be checking at the previous cycles when it got activated by something major, because most likely it would have brought you some events. But also we've got the 24 degree of Capricorn, where the Jupiter and Pluto conjunction took place. Then 18, 19 degree Capricorn, where the Uranus and Neptune conjunction took place in 1993. Now, this is actually the degree where Mercury will be going retrograde this year. So there could be loads of news, for example, in regards to Uranian and Neptunian topics, for example. So these are the sensitive degrees. There are further ones, such as the 0 degree of Aquarius, where the great conjunction took place, Saturn and Jupiter conjunction. But also we had a Saturn-Mars cycle started there in 2020, 31st of March as well. So this is the reason why I wanted to look at Ceres, because Ceres will be going retrograde on 21 degree of Capricorn. So it's going to be triggering the Saturn-Pluto conjunction. So listen to the video till the very end. Enjoy. And then let's explore this amazing technique of things. So let's get started with Ceres in the sign of Capricorn. Now, how to go about this? First of all, what is Ceres? Let's explore some of the archetypes of Ceres, and then we're going to be exploring the archetype of Capricorn a little bit, and then we're going to try to bring them together. So some of the keywords to Ceres is about nourishment. So wherever Ceres goes through, it wants you to nurture that area of life. So if it goes through, for example, in the sign of Capricorn, that it's about your goals and achievements. So we're going to have to start having some type of goals, and then we're going to have to go after them. Remember the mythology behind Ceres. She never gave up trying to get her daughter back. Her daughter got abducted by Pluto, and obviously she was grieving and she went through a rough time. But then all of a sudden she said, no, I'm going to get my daughter back. So this position is really about going after what you want to achieve. Ceres also talks about agricultural matters. So obviously when we're talking about nourishment and growing something, she's the asteroid, somehow it's correlated to abundance. Then in order for you to grow, you're going to have to have a plan in the sign of Capricorn. And probably having a bit of a step-by-step guide, how to get there. What is the final destination? These could be really important questions for you. Now, Ceres in Capricorn is all about taking care of your responsibilities, becoming more ambition, but also probably creating some type of relationships with authority figures as well. And I like Ceres in Capricorn actually, because it can really bring great changes and accomplishments in life. So the most important keywords of Ceres are nurture, caretaking, fertility, abundance, and growth. How are you going to grow your career? Now, often this is in the sign of Capricorn, which is more on the conservative side. Often we have got a little bit more of a conservative approach to nurturing and caring for others. Now, remember what happens is that you are too focused on your career, for example, and then you forget to relate to others. You forget to somehow taking care of yourself as well. Because Ceres, at the end of the day, is not just about nurturing others, but how you nurture yourself as well. So, for example, the sign of Capricorn, I'm going to give you some hints and tips anyway when it comes to the medical side of things, when it comes to uh, Capricorn. But it could talk to you, for example, about situations such as you want to be taking care of your skin a little bit more. So this is something to do with skin care. But I know you would think that Libra rules skin, yes. But when it comes to the protection of the skin, so for example, I'm going to be applying suntan lotion on my skin because the UV can get stronger and so forth. Then this is more about a Ceres in the sign of Capricorn. But also when it comes to dentistry, so the teeth belongs to the sign of Capricorn. Even the hair belongs to Capricorn, or spleen, or the ligaments, or the spine. Not necessarily the spine actually, but more to do with the bones within the body. And actually, Capricorn can rule over hearing as well. So with Ceres, we're going to have to take care of those body parts. Oh, and one more body part which belongs to Capricorn, and that's the knees. By the way, I am launching on, I think, on the 7th of January, a 16-week medical course. So if you want to sign up for that, it's going to be a really exciting course, and I'm going to teach you all what I have researched in the last few years in regards to medical astrology. Obviously, I got really fascinated with weight loss and so forth. So I wanted to see how these type of things play out in medical astrology as well. Now, when it comes to Capricorn and then the illnesses, it could indicate any type of illnesses which is lacking. So, like lack of hearing or the skin dries out, for example. But Capricorn can represent chronic illnesses or when your hair is receding, for example, or just Capricorn as in old age, or the calcification of the bones, or some type of crystallization within the body. So all these type of things belong to Capricorn, and we're going to have to take care of those. Now, what has this series? Series talks to us about attachments to something. Obviously, she was really attached to her daughter, even though she became the queen of the underworld, and there was some type of emotional connections between Pluto and Persephone. Unfortunately, she could not accept the fact that her daughter had left. So there is a very strong attachment. So we can get attached to, for example, achieving something, and we can get attached to our work. So this could show, for example, someone who becomes quite a workaholic. And in my opinion, we're going to have to just make sure that you find time for yourself as well to take care of, of your own needs as well. I mean, Ceres in the sign of Capricorn can bring great success for plenty of us if it used correctly. So this is about being effective, having pretty much of um, a common sense or a approach from a common sense point of view. Or, for example, if you are a leader, Capricorn, as in manager and leaders, then you're going to have a sense of responsibility towards, for example, your work environment. Cities can actually represent the creation of work environment. So I think in the world, what we're going to see with Ceres in the sign of Capricorn is that it's going to become more and more important to take care of employees. The reason why, because we people are more and more sensitive. We want a little bit more and more from kind of like a life and work balance. So maybe companies will come up with some incentives. This is probably going to talk to us about that the minimum wage in many countries will be significantly changing. And of course, due to the fact that employees are choosing not to do certain type of work, for example. So we might be looking at the catering industry, which, by the way, also belongs to Ceres as well. So as a leader, for example, you're going to have to focus a lot more on structure, order, but the productivity of people as well. So unfortunately, this could also talk to us about cutting back on the numbers of workers, and we want to make them more productive, which of course it has been happening in the world quite significantly. So as I said, we need to have responsibility, we need to have discipline if we want to be achieving something. I mean, Capricorn is very much about business, finance, and political matters. So getting involved, for example, with your own business, or we might start seeing, hopefully, well, I cannot really imagine that, but this could be one of the meaning of series in Capricorn, that the world leaders gonna become more caring towards certain type of um, uh, um, matters. This is very much about taking their work a lot more seriously and knowing how to get things done quite efficiently as well. Series in a negative way, unfortunately, represents anything to do with anger and rage. So imagine that some type of financial matters are going to make people angry, but also it could indicate that, I mean, Ceres represents depression as well. So very possible that, and Capricorn is a sign of depression as well. So unfortunately, one of the questions which comes up in Ceres in Capricorn is whether you are attached to your anger, whether you are attached to your rage towards someone, for example, towards your parents. Now, Ceres is a parenting asteroid, and Capricorn is a parenting sign. So this could actually talk to us about that the parenting style is going to change for many of us, but at least we are meant to be letting go of any type of family attachments. And that would be somehow the psychological message with this constellation. Also, it could actually indicate some type of new regulations around how many children we can have or how to raise a child. Ceres in Capricorn can represent the reformation in a way of social services. Ceres could talk to us about abduction, actually, abduction of a child, but also the fear of loss of a child. So this might be something to do with, fertility matters. Maybe, by the way, Ceres, as I said, is going to be spending approximately 10 months in the sign of Capricorn. And I'm going to give you some more dates and exact degrees as well later in the video. But it's going to be making a trine to the Jupiter and Uranus conjunction 3 times. So this could, for example, indicate that there is going to be some technological advancements of slowing down aging or to help infertility matters even more. And probably that could be really exciting for many of us, right? Or many of the women, especially. Now, Ceres represents attachment also in relationships as well. So what is our relationship with authority figures? What is our relationship with parenting? Do I want to become a parent? Do I have some issues, for example, with my parents? When you are looking at the childhood attachment styles from a psychological point of view, and we distinguish 4 types. We've got the secure, the anxious, preoccupied, the dismissive, avoidant, and then we've got the fearful, avoidant, pretty much the disorganized type. So this position might be asking you to have a look at which one you belong to. Now, I do not want to get into explaining the 4 different attachment styles, but if it's something you wish to be looking at, then then you might want to be checking it out, for example, on Google or on some psychological pages. But Ceres is about self-parenting. Now, self-parenting means giving yourself the care and the attention you may have missed as a child. It means letting your hurt inner child feel seen, heard, and protected. So in negative ways, unfortunately, we might be creating a barrier around us to feel more protected, or we are going to be doing a lot more as a nation or as a population or as an individual to be seen and to be heard a lot more. Ceres in our natal chart points to the nurturing, excuse me, we want it and are able to give ourselves and others as well. So have a look at the natal position of your Ceres, and that might be giving you more information about what you have expected, for example, from your parents. Ceres shows how you care for others, but the self-care as well, how you care for your children. Often a prominent Ceres, for example, pops up in people's chart who are step parents to others or foster parents and so forth. I mean, remember often what happens with attachment is that we nurture others so that they get attached to us. Uh, you know, Ceres and Moon are really similar in a way. But there is one major distinguishment going on between them too. Moon is more about emotional needs and our instinctive responses, while Ceres is more to do with our physical needs, such as I wanted a hug. I wanted I don't know, an expensive car and all those type of things. And that would have meant uh, that you loved me and so forth. But of course, eventually, from a spiritual point of view, Ceres represents the spiritual rebirth. Now, let's move on a little bit. So, what else Ceres represents? Ceres represents seasonal changes. As I said, it's the asteroid of agriculture, the grains. So, in the sign of Capricorn, this could show, for example, that we're going to start gradually running out of grains. And Ceres is so much connected to food sensitivities, anything to do with allergies. So this could show, for example, that the rise of allergies, which is going to be happening. Ceres in Capricorn, I think one of the major message there is that um, you have to create a loyalty. You're gonna have to be committed to something so that because Capricorn is always working towards something that is going to last. So when it comes to business adventure, Ceres in Capricorn could talk about a major competition, for example, to keep the clients loyal. So it could be great, for example, to launch a loyalty program or how to make the customers to return to us. I mean, I think Ceres in the sign of Capricorn does give us a certain amount of strength to deal with hard times. And unfortunately, it could indicate that some of us will experience some hard times psychologically and in a physical sense as well. But it gives us the opportunity as well to tackle these tough times. And often we have to make some really difficult decisions with that. Remember that Capricorns, um, what's the name I'm looking for? Oh, Jesus Christ, it just doesn't want to come on to the symbol. Capricorn's symbol is the mountain goat, who is tirelessly climbing the mountain because they want to get up there, right? So this is telling you that you're going to have to work extremely hard if you want to get somewhere. This could talk about, as I said, the restrictions of grains or even somehow the transportation of those and how to get, I don't know, corns and these type of stuff. Corn is actually a very much of a Mercurian element, if you wanted just to know that. Also, Ceres could talk to us about the mother and the daughter bond. Often, Ceres becomes quite smothering. So maybe this is the realization that my parenting style needs to be changing. I'm too suffocating. I'm too strict. I need to soften up a little bit. It could talk to us about griefs and losses as well. And Ceres refused to mourn the death of her own daughter. So how are you dealing with losses? This could be another um, big, um, message with that. Now, often if Ceres is on the angles, for example, such as midheaven or the ascendant, often those people want to be seen as in a grieving person. Often those people come across quite depressed or they might have got quite a serious face and people do not know how to, whether they feel happy or not. Are often series, even though it's a female archetype, but it can indicate some father image issues as well. At the end of the day, Ceres is the maternal instinct. And often, when it comes to Ceres in Capricorn, this could indicate that the motherhood comes with loads of complexes. It's kind of like Eve's two faces in the symbol on cards. So I cannot make my mind up whether I want to become a mom or I want to remain a lover. Because obviously, if I become a mom, maybe my body is going to be changing and I'm not going to be needed anymore, and my partner doesn't want to touch me, and all these type of things. Or maybe plenty of people will going to start thinking about whether it's worth giving birth to a child, because how am I going to raise the child? So we can become worried about becoming a mom and what's the future of our children are or is. Now, I'll give you an example. For example, in my country, they have got a program, and I think there is one in Poland as well, where if you sign kind of like a document that you're going to give birth to three children, then you get $200,000 for housing, and you do not have to pay taxes or interest on it at all. You have to pay the money back. I mean, not all of it. I think, let's say you have to pay back $150,000. You don't have to pay all of it back, but you get a certain amount of money so you can get a house for yourself. This is one of the ways how our actually the government is trying to prompt people to give birth, because our population is actually declining rapidly. So I don't know, 10 years ago, we had 10 million people. Now only 8 million people are registered because many of them have left the country as well. And people are not, daring enough to give birth to children. So we might start seeing these type of programs. For example, Ceres in Capricorn, I think it could talk to us about orphanages as well, even though that pretty much connects to Pisces a little bit more. But it did come to my mind that something to do with orphanages, and maybe there's gonna be a little bit more of a prompt there. Okay, what else? Eating belongs to Ceres. So lack of eating with Capricorn. Unfortunately, this could be an indication that certain types of items will be unfortunately running out. It could talk to us about eating disorders and how it's going to be unfortunately rising. Or it could even talk to us about, how much food is causing a stress or a concern, or overall the body image. So we might be seeing a lot more body shaming, for example, on social media, or we might be seeing the protection of these people. So weight loss surgeries, these could be becoming a major topic in the world. And if there was such an initiation, I think it would be fantastic. And this somehow echoes for me the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction in the sign of Taurus as well, because Taurus represents food. So surely 2024 is the year of food for me. Now, modern astrology tends to be looking at Ceres as the ruler of Taurus, you know. So if you think about that, Taurus is about sharing. So do I want to share something with others? So I'm going to be keeping that to myself in a way. Some other astrologers tend to be looking at Ceres as the ruler of Virgo. Obviously, it comes from the agricultural meaning of Ceres, and Virgo is something to do with grains. But either way, Ceres definitely represents more of an effective work environment. So it could bring up topics about workers' rights, and that might become a major topic, or just as I said, the lack of unemployment. I think the unemployment rate is going to be record high in the next few years, unfortunately, which might be making people think about how to achieve, let's say, financial abundance and growth through their own businesses. So it's good for people to start thinking about what type of businesses they could be actually pretty much in a way creating for themselves. Okay, what else can we say about it? So it is telling you to have more of a structure in your life. It can give us a strong desire to take charge of our life and somehow to create stability. It could also, on an emotional level, this would tell you that many of us will try to find some type of comfort by creating boundaries with others. So, how much I'm helping others, how much I feel I'm getting used, and so forth. It's very much about working to feel secure in your own skin. But with Capricorn, it's always about realistic approach towards life. Obviously, Capricorn is the sign of reward, right? So when you work, eventually you're gonna get rewarded. Remember that this positive of Ceres is actually going to be in the sign of Pisces, which is about letting go of fear, letting go of unrealistic dreams, working through some of your dreams, so crystallizing your dreams as well. So I would say wherever Ceres is, that's where we are. We want to have certain type of security in our life, and we can become possessive, surely with that. Ceres mostly, is about nourishment, physically, emotionally, and spiritually as well. So wherever it goes through in your house, think about in what ways you try to um, in what ways do you um, get attached to that house in the upcoming year? Now, to give you some dates, as I promised, the series will enter the sign of Capricorn approximately around 7th or 8th of February, depending on where you are. Then Ceres will be moving forward in the zodiacal degrees, and then on 21 degree, on 15th of May, it's going to be going retrograde. Now, as I said, it's the reason why it's really important is because it's going to be almost to the second, the retrogradation where it starts, where we had the Saturn-Pluto conjunction happening in 2020, January 12th. And the reason why I wanted to make an important comment with that is because we had food issues around that time. We had food delivery issues, the distribution of the food, but on top of that, we didn't have toilet rolls and all these type of things on the shelves. So Ceres is actually re-triggering the start of the pandemic chart. Now, I'm not suggesting necessarily that we should be expecting some type of pandemic with that, but food distribution can become a issue. Now, another very interesting thing is that Jupiter and Uranus conjunction is happening on 21 degree of Taurus. So there is an exact trine to Ceres. And that's why I said that the food innovation industry could be really significant. Now, I would like to mention that when Ceres got discovered, for example, it's very interesting because what happened is that that's where certain type of things got discovered in the food industry as well, such as they um, the sugar factories, for example, appeared and so forth. So loads of revolution when it came to the food industry. And most likely we're going to see that again. And unfortunately with Uranus, often this is the genetically modified food, which is going to be coming up here as a possibility. So on 15th of May, we've got Ceres going retrograde on 21 degree of Capricorn. So if you have got anything on 20 to 22 degree of the earth signs, then it can give you some type of opportunities to grow and opportunities to do anything you wanted to do with that, what I've described to you previously. But also look at if you have got any type of activations going on in the cardinal signs as well, such as Aries, Libra, um, Capricorn, of course, and Cancer. So those are the cardinal signs. Do you have any type of planet there? Because it would indicate to you that you're going to have to nurture those planets a little bit more. Then Ceres travels back to 7 degree of Capricorn and is going to turn stationary direct on the 27th of August. And then finally, it's going to be leaving the sign at the end of November, beginning of December. So to give you an exact date there, actually, let me just quickly look up because I do not remember that. But that's going to be happening on the 8th of December. So you can see that actually she is exactly spending 10 months in the sign of Capricorn. So this is pretty much, I think, what I wanted to share with you today in regards to Ceres in the sign of Capricorn. One other thing actually which came to my mind, and I wanted to share that because Capricorn has got a tendency to live an ascetic lifestyle. So which is all about self-discipline, from all forms of indulgence. So in a positive way, this could actually show that a certain type of items are going to be massively on sales because people are not going to be showing, interest in buying certain type of things. So also I found it interesting that last time Ceres went retrograde, it was in the sign of Virgo. Uh, so, and then it spent there quite a lot of time. Now, I did make a video on my channel about Ceres in the sign of Virgo, as well as it went into Libra and then went back into Virgo as well. So that was actually a double sign there. But when you start looking at the earth signs overall, Taurus represents your possessions. Virgo is the order of the material and the intellectual properties of your own. And then Capricorn somehow wants to control all of it, to have it all. So that's why this position is about crystallizing certain type of things in your life. It is also telling you to grow up somehow, to become more mature, to make your knowledge more practical. This is not necessarily just being interested in the order of the world, but Capricorn is meant to be looking at their own space and to tidy that up somehow. So it's a cardinal sign, so it gives a drive and ambition to it. It's an earth sign, so it is connected to your five senses as well. And this is one of the reasons why it is can represent hearing, for example, as I mentioned um, at the beginning. Surely I can talk about Ceres in the sign of Capricorn a lot longer, but I think you might have got bored, so I'm gonna just stop here, and I will see you next time in another video. Thank you. Have a good one. Bye bye.